Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Fabulites. This is Angela, and I'm here on Be Fabulous You channel, Be Fabulous You on YouTube, with another edition of Notes on the Newsfeed. Yay! This is where I share with you my response to the stuff that I see going across my newsfeed. Some of the items I have read the entire article. Some of the items I have skimmed the entire article. Some items I have read or skimmed just a little paragraph that comes after you click on the headline. And some of them I've just read the headlines. But I'm still going to tell you what I think about it. All right. Spain wildfires, or what it reminds me of. Spain wildfires threaten Doñana Nature Reserve. Wildfires. Weren't we just hearing about wildfires in another country like in South or Central America last week? I have to go back, which I'm not going to do, to my notes on the news feed. But we've been talking, is this the season for wildfires? Is this like a worldwide phenomena? I know every year it seems like California has wildfires. But is this like part of global warming? Is this normal? What's really going on? And there's a nature reserve being threatened. Boo-hoo-hoo. Stacey Abrams talks campaign to become Georgia's first Black governor. Voting rights and criminal justice reform. Criminal justice reform. Black governors. We talk about Black governors again. It's like, I don't know. It's like in the conversation now. Florida college official says genetics may be holding women back from higher pay. This is coming off of Financial Juneteenth. I wonder if genetics are holding Black people back from higher pay as well. What dollar amount truly makes someone wealthy in America? That's coming off of Financial Juneteenth too. Miss Bella, hey, chillax, relax yourself. Miss Fussy, you hear her still fussing in the background? Okay. I think that's an interesting question. I don't know if money makes you happy. What amount of freedom makes a person truly happy? What other things can you quantify? Can you quantify happiness? What amount of love, what amount of joy makes someone truly happy? I mean, I'm just wondering. I have questions, so I'm asking them. Okay. Amilcar Cabral, I've definitely seen this name before. Revolutionary who fought repressive Portuguese dictatorship. Portugal. I don't know. Miss Bella, chillax. Relax yourself. Go to your space. YouTube, she don't have a space on the first floor. YouTube has hit a milestone and announced a slew of new features. What new features? I'm going to have to read the article, I guess, to find out. We all use YouTube, right? So what's the new features? Do we know? Are we excited? DC council member outraged after police handcuffed Black teens for selling bottled water. Now, I would change that headline because they handcuffed the children for being Black. Because if it was white teens selling water, you can't convince me that they would have been handcuffed. And I really, the response to things is just way out of line. I mean, you're a grown-up and there are children here. If they're doing something out of line, you're not only an adult, but you're an officer, and the best response and the most effective and efficient way to interact with and handle that situation, the best, most productive use of your resources is to handcuff children for selling water. Don't you have something better to do? And I think, I was listening to someone's review, Mike B's review on Queen Sugar, and it really got me to thinking because I listened to 2 of his reviews on Queen Sugar, and I don't know if you've been watching, but this season a young man got arrested he got a gun put on him and arrested and taken to jail, Micah. And Mike B was saying, I think something must have happened to him. And I'm thinking, yeah, something did happen to him. Somebody put a gun on him, which is traumatic. He was taken to jail, which is traumatic. He was handcuffed, which is traumatic. He was having to deal with adult men, strange adult men who he didn't know, where he was vulnerable to them, which is traumatic. I mean, there's a lot going on that's traumatic. I remember when I was a senior in high school, and I was not a sheltered kid, but I got suspended from high school, and I promise you I was traumatized. I cried. I was upset. That's just getting suspended from school. And I got suspended from school for being a smart ass. It wasn't even like a fight or something I did. I just said something to the teacher that I probably, should have kept to myself. If I had, at this stage of my life, I would have just said it in my head to myself. But, at that stage of my life, I just, said it to the teacher. And so I was suspended. And that was a trauma for me. So I think that being handcuffed, like the times that I've been pulled over, I think I've been pulled over maybe 3 times in my life. And there's an embarrassment to that. You don't know who's seeing you driving by. And I find it embarrassing. I'm sure that child and that character, just the whole thing was traumatic. And so, they got these kids handcuffed. I saw the images of them. They sitting on, out in public, they're being shamed and harassed and penalized for, basically having a lemonade stand. I mean, that's their crime. So anyway, yeah, I am outraged as well. I mean, this whole society is just outrageous in so many ways, just in so many ways. What is outrageous anyway? The 13-story Leaning Tower of Alexandria in Egypt has crashed into the street. It's a building that fell down, like an office building. And part of the reason it fell down, as I understand it, is that another building, like another office tower, came down. And so without the support of that office tower, it fell down. But I don't think they were touching each other like that type of support. Look, I think it was more of a vibrational support. I don't know. But I don't think that these buildings were touching each other. But I think that, I don't know. So, yeah, maybe I need to reread that article. But that was deep, right? You think that was deep? I mean, and the building just fell down. They evacuated. They say they don't think that anyone got hurt. It's been leaning since the other building got demolished. I think that's correct. Kodak Black. I've heard the name before, but I'm not familiar, is okay with dating black women as long as they're not dark skinned. So I kind of clicked on the article, and I guess he had said he don't date black women, but he's corrected that. So yay! Because I wasn't checking for his ass anyway, because obviously I don't even know who he is. And now the only way that I know him is as an asshole, because now Kodak Black is probably locked into my head. The next time I hear his name, that's what I'm going to think. Oh, he won't date dark. He's okay with dating dark black women as long as they're not dark skinned. Anyway, we got issues, black people. We got issues. We got issues. We got issues. But I think it's good because, don't nobody, it wouldn't be productive for probably a black woman to be with you, let alone a dark-skinned black woman. It would be an assault to the spirit and the soul. And love is beautiful. June 26, 1934, W.E.B. Du Bois resigns from the NAACP. I didn't know this, and I clicked the article, and you know what? We were just talking about the NAACP being an integrationalist organization, and he resigned to be more involved with black nationalism, as I understand it. He felt that the NAACP was about integration, and he wanted to be more about the black people being self-determining. So black people deciding for black people what black people need and what black people want, and black people deciding together how to move forward and how to progress and how to build and what our priorities are. Weren't we just talking about integrationalism and the NAACP? Yes. Okay. So I thought that was interesting. It's kind of like, just like this man here recently, Reverend Barber resigned from the NAACP because he wanted to focus on he's starting a poor people's campaign. And they've been doing some interesting work. I think he's in North Carolina. But I've been hearing about Moral Mondays for years. And during this campaign, I think that we saw the result of that Moral Mondays organizing and that Moral Mondays work. So, it's interesting when you look back, in time, that people kind of make decisions and make changes. Historical figures did too, that were maybe controversial or maybe difficult, and they evolve and they grow. They're like real people. Even though he's like W.E.B. Du Bois, he's like a real person. Like Webb Du Bois, what's up? Okay. That's why I like that. Did y'all ever see that TV show Black Jesus? Y'all should check that out. I could still get, I don't know, I think I might have seen it on Netflix, but it's a really interesting piece. It's funny, and it's got Charlie Murphy in it. It's funny, it's interesting, it's got a lot of layers to it. I think the same guy who did Boondocks was involved with that. And Boondocks is interesting. Some of the seasons are better than others, but I also think that the original guy, the guy who originated Boondocks, was not involved with all of the seasons. I think I read that somewhere. Magruder? Don't quote me on that. Greenfield Tower, that's the tower where the relatively poor people lived, a lot of black and brown people, and it burned down. The cladding, there was something on the outside called cladding. Cladding firm ends global sales for tower blocks because they've tested them. I don't know if this is why they ended it, but I imagine it is. They've tested these blocks, many of the blocks, some of the blocks, probably not all of the blocks, but all of them were flammable. Rest in peace, people who lost people. And I think that they're still not even really clear what's up with everybody. So just peace for everybody who's connected. Why did you turn them off? Reporters grill Sean Spicer over decision to reduce on-camera press briefings. When I read that article, I was like, I didn't read the article. When I read the headline, I was like, are they planning to execute reporters and they don't want anybody to escape with camera evidence of it? That's crazy, right? Anyway, I'm crazy like that sometimes, y'all. But why did they turn them off? What's the rationale? Can you explain it to me? Can you help me understand? I don't know I don't understand none of what they doing, really. On some level, I just understand it as some fuck shit. Excuse my language, but on another level, I'm like, I don't really understand. Crazy people, just crazy people, and Real estate companies are trying to rename Harlem, and residents are furious. I think this has been going on for a while. They want to call it South Harlem. I kind of feel like it reminds me of the Q line. Like there's already a bus that goes down Woodward, right? But we're going to create a system to get people from the boulevard downtown. And it's like there's already a system to get people from the boulevard downtown. But this system, the Q line, is white people friendly. We're going to create a name for this neighborhood. There's already a name for this neighborhood. But Soha is white people friendly. Okay. Another major city, St. Louis, is removing a Confederate monument. I don't know. I hope these children in St. Louis seem like they are really on the ball. And I don't know who was involved with it. I didn't read the article. But it seemed like there's some stuff going on in St. Louis. We already read that our grandchildren may only work for 4 hours a day. Sofia Coppola admits, I don't even know who she is, but she erased black women from Civil War film. Maybe she was a filmmaker. So anyway. And that's SSDD, right? Same shit, different day. And that's it, Fabulites. Thank you again so much for clicking and listening, subscribing, and being here, and sharing, commenting, and all of those other wonderful things. Be you, be fabulous, you, and have a great and wonderful day. It is the best day ever, right? Right.